Imagine a world where the lights went out 5 years ago, and the silence that followed wasn't just an absence of noise, but the death knell of modern civilization. You are John Matherson, a former history professor turned reluctant leader who has managed to keep his small town of Black Mountain alive through sheer grit and strict discipline. But now, as the initial chaos settles into a grim new normal, you realize that survival isn't just about food and fuel. It's about rebuilding a society from the ashes while fending off those who would tear it down. Welcome to 5 Years After, the third gritty, relentless, and deeply suspenseful installment in William R. Forstchen's John Matherson series. If you love grid-down tropes, realistic societal reconstruction, and stories that explore the sheer, unadulterated terror of facing a world that has forgotten mercy through grit, ingenuity, and superior tactics, this audiobook will completely consume you. It is a masterclass in post-apocalyptic thriller fiction, blending the visceral crunch of tactical combat with the profound weight of moral responsibility. The narrative kicks off with our protagonist facing the immediate threat of a well-organized rival faction, thrusting him into a race against time to secure his community's borders before they are overrun. The atmosphere is thick with the smell of wood smoke and damp earth, the static of dying radios, and the creeping dread of knowing that every alliance is temporary and every safe haven is an illusion. Forstchen excels at capturing the psychological toll of long-term leadership, making every scavenging run, every tense negotiation, and every narrow escape feel like a high-stakes gamble, where the price of failure is not just death, but the loss of everything that makes life worth living. At the core of the book's massive appeal is its spectacular, reluctant leader trope and the brilliant asymmetric warfare dynamic. This isn't just about shooting raiders. It's about understanding the psychology of desperation, managing dwindling resources, and using human ingenuity to outsmart enemies who have superior numbers and zero regard for collateral damage. Watching the protagonist reverse engineer enemy tactics, forge uneasy truces with other survivor groups, and completely shock arrogant commanders with their stubborn refusal to break is incredibly satisfying. The audiobook narration brings the visceral impact of the combat to life, making the crack of rifle fire, the shudder of impact, and the frantic whispers in the dark feel incredibly real and deeply immersive. But beyond the spectacular action and the survival mechanics, the soul of the John Matherson series lies in its characters and the heavy burden of leadership. The protagonist isn't an invincible hero. He is a deeply human individual, struggling with the moral weight of making impossible choices to protect those he cares about. The emotional anchor of the story is his fierce, complicated bond with the small group of survivors he reluctantly allows into his orbit, a found family bound by shared trauma and the knowledge that they are the last line of defense against total darkness. The audiobook format elevates these intimate moments, making the quiet conversations by a flickering candle feel just as impactful as the explosive, chaotic firefights on the perimeter. As the plot accelerates towards its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. A major raider gang targets the community's sanctuary, forcing them into a desperate, high-stakes last stand. The finale is a breathtaking display of tactical brilliance, overwhelming improvisation, and raw, unbridled courage. The protagonist must use every hidden trick, every overloaded trap, and every ounce of his will to hold the line against an unstoppable tide. The payoff is spectacular, delivering a massive, hard-earned victory that proves humanity's greatest weapon isn't its firepower, it's its refusal to surrender its soul. 5 Years After is a triumph of the post-apocalyptic thriller genre. It is smart, gritty, and unapologetically intense. William R. Forstchen has crafted a sequel that perfectly captures the thrill of the ultimate underdog holding the line. Plug in your headphones, check your perimeter, and join the fight. The world is broken, but their defiance is eternal.